That's a show we need to be able to do. All right, I want Super Bowl Media Day with Harris and Butker. That has to happen, don't you think?
I would like it.
Dude is just going to lay down ordinance. I mean, that's not going to be a press conference. It's going to be a homily. The NFL is going to be like, if you show up, you'll get fined. What was the whole thing that Marshawn Lynch did? I'm only here so I don't get fined. I'm only here so I don't get fined. The NFL's like, if you show up, you'll get fined, right? All right. Anyway, on this one, Daniel, where are you at on this one?
I'm at a hold because on the one hand, he needs to distract. On the other hand, honestly, he doesn't give a darn anymore, assuming he's still making the decisions.
He could Daniel, anymore. Daniel, do you have, while we're on this topic, in 1 minute, do you have a theory on the drones?
Self-spreading vaccines. No. The most logical thing is that they're doing some not even high-tech sort of ops testing for one of their defense contractors, and they don't want to divulge it, so they're just lying to everyone about they always do. But I think the broader problem is we have a crisis of trust. So they did just allow China to have a balloon go over our entire country and absolutely surveil military installations. So it does make us wonder, but you gotta believe like thousands of these things can't be adversarial. So who knows?
Okay. All right, let's carry on.
Next up, we go to I'm Being Wise Guy, who says the base of the left is at its breaking points. They're ready for revolution. There's going to be a very noticeable uptick in leftist violence in 2025. It's hard to quantify with a number, but something like 4 times as much as we're used to, at least.
Daniel, I'm going to let you take this one first.
I sell. I'm not even going to have to do the Lindsey Graham on this. I mean, I have a contrary take. I believe that you have not seen violence so far, and I don't think you're going to see it in 2025. I believe the system has made peace with a certain equilibrium. I think the amount that the left has imbued in politics, law, society, and culture of nuclear waste, political nuclear waste, is great enough that they can continue on autopilot most of what they're doing, have some aspects of it maybe stalled out a little bit, but then pick it up when the Democrats win again. So I don't know if you're going to see another brown shirt moment like we did in 2020.
Todd?
I'll buy. It's not just crazy ideas pushed as far as they go, and now we kind of pull back and resettle. These ideas have become incarnate, and they're now crazy people, and they just can't be stopped. I don't know how many of them are, but it's the Joker world that has been created, and they're out there now, and they're not just tactical in their thinking. They're nuts.
Aaron?
I'm going to sell for some of the same reasons that Daniel said. Information. Occam's razor is that, you know what, we just got to bite the bullet for a little while, bide our time before we come back stronger than ever.
Yeah. So I just want to say,
go ahead, Daniel. No, you finish your point.
I was just going to say, just a caveat, I mean mass organized violence.
Yeah.
Obviously, increasingly what we're going to have more of is these individuals kind of like, because we have pagan Sharia in this country,
yeah.
It's as fervent as...
See, you're going right where I was going to go. Finish your point. Go ahead.
Yeah, as the Islamic madrasas where they indoctrinate them. So we have not actualized the peak, the cusp of this previous generation's worth of indoctrination. So you have an entire generation of 12 to 25-year-olds that are taking time bombs.
See, that will happen. That's where I was going to go. I think the systemic stormtrooper stuff, again, without a rationale, all right, without some cover event like a Floyd funeral or, Trump Charlottesville that they can just lie about for years, that gives them some narrative that their media can sell as a rationale for why this is not coordinated, but a spontaneous outburst of legitimate emotion from aggrieved victims of cherished oppressive status. Without that, okay, I don't think we're going to, I agree, we're not going to see, without those impetuses, we're going to see what we thought we were going to see. However, I do think organically this element still exists in by and large, well, not by and large, but exists throughout in limited amounts and doses, but exists throughout our society, so that even if they don't, there's no Thanos snap or a switch is flipped, you're going to get events like, the 1% trust fund kid shooting the 1% insurance executive and now being suddenly deemed a working class hero, or what tragically happened at the Christian school earlier this week in Milwaukee.
It's on.
Madison, I'm sorry.
The new thermostat is on, yo.
That worldview energy will still show itself, whether it's systemically being guided by coordinated political events or not.
Yeah. No, and Steve, just about that trust fund, baby, I mean, everyone knows that family here. They own the big conservative talk show station. At least the grandparents did. And I know people who went to the school, the private school, which is not too far from where I live. And they said he was roughly a normal kid in high school. I mean, the power of that indoctrination over a short period of time is so palpable. We're gonna see that regularly.
I mean, the term pagan Sharia. This is not where politics is, but it has operationally now become a religion. And so when I radicalize that, or I become zealous, that energy has to go somewhere. Has to go somewhere. And if I don't get the result that I want through the system, then that can be used to justify going outside the system for the results that I want.
We now have the OO.
Clinton Shaw, who says, for tradition's sake and in honor of Lindsey Graham, Steve and Daniel really should have filmed this segment in the closet.
We did that once in Dallas after the election.
So hold on.
And the comments spilled forth, as you might imagine. Yes. But I'm going to sell on that. No, not going into the closet with Daniel or any other biological male. But thank you.
Next, I think we're all a sell on that. Jeff Burkhart says, we know more about Luigi, the just aforementioned Luigi Mangione, the CEO shooter. We know more about him than we do about Thomas Matthew Crooks, the math team Trump shooter, because one was close to the government.
I mean, which one are we saying? That Crooks was? Because I absolutely believe Crooks was.
Yeah.
I absolutely believe our government tried to assassinate Donald Trump twice. 100% believe it. 100%. 100%. So if we're saying that because Crooks is the one that's closer, that's the no buy. If it's the other one, it's Luigi also.
I agree with you.
2 gallons distilled water.
There's no question that they're going to want to elevate more of this to have copycats.
Next, we go to Cranky Hank, disser of politicians. If confirmed, Trump's most promising disruptor personnel picks, Hegseth, Coleman, Patel, RFK, etc., they'll turn out to be run-of-the-mill swamp creatures like all the rest.
I'm going to say, I just can't believe that you go for 5. Okay? Doesn't mean I think you go 5 for 5. It's human nature. You know, you don't really know sometimes what men will do if they're given that level of power, especially if they're untested, a bit like Pete Hegseth is. Okay? You know, that's why I said last week, I don't think we should give up on the Hegseth nomination because they'll just use that to then nominate the rest of the guys on this list. On the other hand, if Ron DeSantis were Secretary of Defense, he'd make them wish they got Pete Hegseth, okay? Because he just does daily the stuff Hegseth has only talked about. Now, that's not an attack on Hegseth. I've been supportive of his nomination since the minute that it was made. I've liked that nomination. But he also has not been tested in the arena to the extent of DeSantis. That's more of a statement about DeSantis as a known quantity than it is any kind of criticism of Hegseth. He just hasn't been in that seat yet, okay? That being said, I just, you know, going 5 for 5 is not realistic. Going 0 for 5 is just as unrealistic. All right, I look at somebody like RFK Jr., for example. This guy's already lost his family. He's lost much of his own family, access to his own family and his fortune. He's been completely cast aside from all the channels. He's a Kennedy, guys. He's a Kennedy. I mean, we've seen what it did psychologically to the Trumps to be disassociated from all of the elite circles that they were tied to. I mean, Trump spent most of his first term still trying to earn Maggie Haberman's approval. He's just now figured out they freaking tried killing him. He's never getting it, okay? And I think that's why you're seeing him covered differently at this point than he has in the past. RFK Jr. has suffered for what he believes at a level even way beyond almost anybody in this audience has. And he's been excommunicated, literally, from a family. And not just any family. The closest thing American politics has ever had to a royal family. And he's been completely excommunicated. I would be beyond stunned. Beyond stunned. Would I be beyond stunned if Tom Homan turns out to be John Kennedy? Just a quick machine, Senator John Kennedy. Just a quick machine on Fox News that gets in there, can't do the deed. I'd be disappointed, but I would not be stunned because I've seen that before, right? Would I be stunned if Pete Hegseth got in there and in the end, saying the thing ain't the same as doing the thing, and managing a bureaucracy ain't the same as, you know. Disappointed? Yes. Surprised? No. Okay. But you're going to tell me RFK Jr., after getting completely shunned, excommunicated, he has lost everything of value that comes with being born as a Kennedy. Lost it all. And now he's going to get the divine payment for all of that suffering. And then after that, it's just going to ankle grab and quit. I'm sorry, I don't buy that at all. So I'm selling.
Yeah, I'm selling as well, but to the degree that there's failure across the board on some level, more of them fail than not. It is one of the biggest variable in all that will go beyond their particular efforts, mistakes to the people. If the people want this, the likelihood of it getting done, whatever is in their purview, goes way, way up. If the people are flaccid, distracted, easily manipulated, like they have a propensity to be, then all of a sudden you can just, you know, the deep state can circle the wagons, the media can do what it does. We have a people problem. If the people decide they want to live in a different country, we'll live in it.
Daniel, where are you at?
Yeah, no, I definitely sell. Largely the dichotomy you made between RFK and maybe a guy like Homan. There's no way RFK could run HHS like the same old. You know, it could underperform expectations, but there's no way that CDC could be putting out the exact same guidance about all vaccines all the time under him that it's been doing. What I think, and not to criticize this submission here, but some of our people don't understand the subtlety of why we fail. And they don't understand 2017 and why I believe Trump's first administration failed and what it will take to be different. You're not going to have this like January, February, March 2025, all these guys just come and betray us. It's a matter of you'll do some temporary good things, but the enduring victories will hinge on a very narrow set of leverage points and focus.
All right, let's go back to the wall.
Is that we don't have that there, the economy tanks, the left comes back, and then
The new thermostat is in, everybody.
That's my
Yeah, if the economy tanks, the left will come back, and all the good things we did will get erased. That's just the reality. That's why we keep saying to everybody on our show, whether I'm doing commercials or content, okay, take advantage of the moment right now. Do not just sit here. Let's go back to mentally masturbating to Fox News for 6 hours and owning the lids. This is not a perpetual victory here, okay? We've got a moment right here to do some things that would matter in the long run, because much of the, even if he economically did everything that if Donald Trump called Daniel Horowitz right now, said, hey, get off that schmuck basis show, and I'm gonna make every economic move you want me to make. Even if he did that, the amount of forces that would still be beyond his control economically that could be brought together to destabilize.
All right, so we're about to
And they probably do more of that.
put the
And then let Daniel Horowitz's theorems be tested in public to be valid and true, and make an example of how much we've been defrauded.
I really should bleed it, but I'm not going to.
They would even disrupt it all the more if
I'm
they
just
did
gonna
that, for fear of allowing you, someone
kind
like
of
you,
pack
to
it up.
establish credibility, which of a path of a true paradigm shift moving forward. We don't have a